What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Blazers Uprise podcast. What's going on, Trevin? What's going on, everybody? Probably gonna not have too many people here for picks against the spread because we're literally getting right into it. No intro, no anything. It's 4:30, so kind of behind on a couple games, but whatever. It'll be kind of scuffed, but that's fine. I'm a little sick right now, so tried to get these done. I wanted to wake up earlier, but didn't feel good. Didn't get much sleep. My back's killing me, so this is a flu game for me. This is a flu stream for me. I don't have the flu. It's not that bad. I just don't feel good. Anyway, picks against the spread. Here's our records. We're all doing pretty good in February. Actually, we're doing really, really good. Eric is 23 games above 500. I'm 11. Chat is 9. We're 6 and 7 games back behind Eric, so I hope Eric sucks today because I want somebody to get that lead from him. I'll be happy if Chat gets that lead from him, to be honest. We gotta make some ground here and catch up to the man, Eric Brandt. So let me.
Thanks, man.
Let me pull up the stream on my phone, since the comments and all that. Alrighty. Hey y'all, funny tank pick. Yeah, I hoped you guys would like that. Appreciate it, Dave Gibson. No to tanking. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. I mean, we've talked about this before, but I see a lot of talk about it right now. So
People's Mix coming in here asking questions like he says he doesn't do that.
Wait, WTF, Portland are taking now? Right off the bat. We'll get into it. Anyway, first game. Got no transition slot. No special transitions for you guys. I apologize for that. Anyway, first game we got Miami against Cleveland. Miami is without Jimmy Butler. They're still favored by 5.5 on the road, and I'm still going to take them in Cleveland. I have no idea how this game started. Do not cheat and look at scores. That's the only thing we ask because this game's probably already started. Eric, who are you taking?
I'm taking Miami as well. No Butler, but I think they should get this done in Cleveland.
Yep, they probably should. All right, post your votes in the chat. As you can see, I rushed these. I did put the team names down in the bottom bar. I just kept it generic. Do it faster.
People don't follow that.
I know.
Command anyway.
I know. I wanted to make it easier for you to be able to tell. That's why I do that. But people just end up abbreviating it, saying the city name, saying the team name. It's just all over the place. So anyway, next game we got Philadelphia taking on Atlanta. Philadelphia is favored by 8.5. I'm taking Philadelphia, even though they are playing without Ben Simmons. Got to remember that. Ben Simmons is having back issues. So who knows what the deal with him is. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe something's been reported, but he's out right now. I'm still taking Philadelphia, though. Atlanta sucks. 17-win team. I'm not going to take Atlanta, so I'm rolling with Philadelphia, even though they're favored by 8.5.
I think 8.5 is too high for them without Simmons, so I like Atlanta to at least keep it close. So I'm taking Atlanta in this one.
Yeah, this was not an easy game to pick. Not as easy as the spread might suggest. Simmons kind of runs that ship, makes that thing go. So we'll see if...
They did say today that Simmons was crying after getting the results of his X-ray last night, and that he was having an MRI either today or tomorrow, and that it wasn't looking good. But hopefully it's not serious because they definitely need him for the playoffs.
Yeah, yikes. That's not good, man. That's not good. That's a franchise that's definitely dealt with injuries too. So hopefully it's not that bad. Going into the next game, we got Washington against Milwaukee. This game's being played in Washington. Milwaukee's favored by 11.5. I'm taking Milwaukee. They are known to blow teams out. Washington isn't a good team. This is a game the Bucks should win by double digits, so I'm going to take them even though they're favored by 11.5. And I feel pretty safe about that.
Yeah, I'm also taking Milwaukee, and this is going to be my double down game. Wizards played last night too, so they're going to be tired.
Gotcha. I didn't even know that. Good research. Anyway, moving on to the next game. We got Brooklyn playing Orlando. Brooklyn is favored by 3. This game is being played in Brooklyn. I'm taking the Nets. They are playing without Kyrie Irving, like they've done for the majority of this year. I'm still taking the Nets. The Magic have not been a good team since losing Jonathan Isaac. They've really struggled to replace his production on both ends of the floor. So I'm going to take the Nets in this one.
I like Orlando in this one. Hate Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I
you've
like
been
them more
picking
without
against
Kyrie,
Brooklyn
but
like crazy. Yeah.
Shouldn't come as a surprise.
There you go. See, I'm going to make up ground here. Alrighty. Houston is playing against New York. In Houston, the Rockets are favored by 14, which is a huge spread, so I'm taking the Knicks. They've played better under Mike Miller. I think they can kind of match up against Houston's small ball pretty well. It'll be interesting to see how that style works against the Knicks. I'm taking the Knicks, though. 14 points, way too high of a spread.
Yeah, I like Houston in this game, but I took the Knicks just because of the 14-point spread.
Yeah.
Gives them a lot of leeway there.
Yeah. I'll be surprised if the Rockets win by 15 or more, which is what it would take to get that win for picking them. So, Knicks it is. Moving on to the next game. Let me know if I'm going too fast. But we got Dallas against Minnesota. Dallas favored by 12.5 points. I'm taking Dallas. This was a hard game to pick, but Minnesota without Karl Anthony Towns is a really bad team. They are missing him today. I don't know. How long is he out for? He's always hurt.
I heard at least 2 weeks. He had like a broken wrist or something.
Oh, yeah. That sounds familiar. Okay. Yeah, he's always hurt, man. Kind of a shame, but they do have D'Angelo Russell. We'll see if he can carry Minnesota to a single-digit loss, but I don't think that'll be the case. I'm taking Dallas.
I'm also taking Dallas. I don't trust Minnesota without Towns, or with Towns actually. But
Yeah.
but yeah, the spread's a little high. But yeah, I like Dallas in this game.
Alrighty. Second to last game, we got Utah. In Utah, playing against Phoenix. Utah's favored by 8. I'm rolling with Utah. Phoenix has really struggled since their hot start. They got overrated after their hot start. Their fans were talking a bunch of mess about how this was going to be the year they were going to make the jump and make the playoffs for sure. And look at them now. The Memphis Grizzlies did what Phoenix Suns fans said they were going to do. They're the team that made the jump this year. Phoenix not so much. So I'm taking Utah.
Yeah, I like Utah in this game at home as well. Should cover. Leo's saying double down on the Suns, but
wow,
you're one of only 2 people to vote for the Suns, so I don't think that's going to be your double down.
Yeah. Looks like they're rolling with Utah as well. And then we got last game of the night. Clippers playing the Grizzlies. The Clippers are favored by 9.5 points. Paul George is questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. I'm gonna double down on the Clippers. Part of this was the last graphic I did, and then I was like, oh crap, I don't have a double down. And then part of this is I actually think this probably would have been the game I doubled down on, which I've been picking for the Grizzlies all year, but without Jaren Jackson Jr. and especially if Paul George plays, I think that the Clippers will win by 10 or more. So I'm doubling down on the Clippers.
I'm taking the Clippers as well. Grizzlies, I think, played last night too, so they should be tired.
They might have, I'm not sure. I don't think they played last night. I don't think they did. But rolling with the Clippers for both of us.
Yeah, they didn't play it. It was someone else I was thinking of. But
yeah. Alrighty, so there you guys go. Got to figure out the double down.
Chat's double down is Miami because no one picked Cleveland. Everyone else, they had at least one
Gotcha.
pick for the other team.
Alrighty.
Actually, never mind. Washington too. So do you guys want Milwaukee or Miami to be your double down? Because it was the same votes for both of those.
I'd say give them Milwaukee.
Milwaukee was my double down.
I'd say give them Milwaukee because that game hasn't, or that game's close.
3-3.
Give them
3-4.
Milwaukee. Give them Milwaukee. Give them Milwaukee.
They're cheating.
They are, I know. Because that's the thing, those games already started. That's why I was saying give them Milwaukee because it's a 2-point game at the end of the first. Meanwhile, the Heat are up 8. So that's why I was saying give them Milwaukee, but they can have the mulligan. there you go. Sixers are up 17 against the Hawks. So my pick of the Sixers looking pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in the NBA in the first half.
Kind of does,
Not really.
Okay, well next
But
time you
Blazers-
ever complain about something in the first quarter, I'm gonna say, oh, the first quarter doesn't matter. Remember?
Blazers are up 19 in the first quarter last.
Oh, it doesn't matter for the Blazers, but for
And then
other
we're
teams
down.
it does.
Then we're down 10.
For other teams it matters. Anyway, alrighty, let's go to main scene. So the topic of this podcast is to tank or not to tank, because this is a hot topic right now. Apparently, I thought this was going. I made this thread title, or not this thread title, this podcast title before I saw that 503 for the Fans is apparently doing a podcast titled around this. So is Dan Meringue. But ours is out first, so they're copying us. We're not copying them. Let's just say that. I don't honestly think they're copying us. Obviously, they came up with the title. I just don't want them to think we're copying them with our title or anything. That's apparently a deal with the Blazer community. But it's been a hot topic around the Blazer community, Blazer Twitter, and let me start off with this. I'm gonna get you guys involved with this, chat. For those who want to tank, I assume we have some people in here who want to tank. Please logistically explain how that would happen and how that would work between like the front office, coaching staff, and players. Because I'm curious how you think that would be feasible and how you think that would be something that would be practical.
My understanding is that most of the people who are saying to tank right now are just saying, let Dame sit out the rest of the year. Don't bring Nurk back. Don't bring Collins back. And just...
Dame isn't hurt for the rest of the year. That's not going to fly with the NBA. That's not going to fly with Dame. That's not... Like, that's disrespectful to Dame. Like, that's not going to fly. See, that's what I mean. Is like... that's why I want people to try and explain why it's practical.
See, I'm not one of those guys who is like, you can't ever tank. It's a loser's mentality, whatever. Like, Golden State's not going to lose next year because they tank this year, They just weren't healthy this year and made some decisions to increase their chances of having more success based on being bad this year.
Yeah, and Steph Curry's getting killed for still being out. Like,
right.
We don't want that to be Dame. And it's not as simple. Like, we've already reported that Dame is not going to be out much longer. If it was like a long-term injury where he's like, oh, supposed to be back maybe near mid to late March, then maybe you could get away with keeping him out for the rest of the season. But he's already said, oh, looking at like 3 to 5 games, and it's already been 2 games. You're not going to get by sitting him the final 24 games. It's not going to fly with Dame. It's not going to fly with the NBA. That's another thing. Like, the team could get fined for that. Like, the team could get in trouble for that. It just doesn't make sense. Like, the biggest thing you could do to like reduce our chances of winning without affecting the locker room negatively, without affecting the culture negatively or anything like that, is to stop playing Dame 38 minutes in close games, play him 34, 35 every game, because even if you brought his minutes down to 30, it's going to be a bit obvious considering we've been running him into the ground all season.
And like Melo played 37 last night. Mm-hmm. CJ played like 43.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, to me, there's 2 ways you can tank. You either have injuries or kind of fudge injuries or whatever, mm-hmm. and you're just bad, or you just decide that you're going to give the young guys more minutes and try to play them.
But usually that's not over like veteran superstar players.
Right. But in our case, all the young guys are playing right now anyway, so it's not like they would get that much more minutes. I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see like game 82 of last season for an extended period of time and just let Simons try to like take over games like he did that one or
Might lead us
whatever.
to the
But like
playoffs.
there's no reason why he can't do that in the minutes he's getting right now. Like just play better in those minutes. And I think those young guys are getting as many minutes as they can get. I obviously want to see Little playing more. But that's not necessarily tanking. I think some of those guys would be a better option over playing Melo 37 minutes.
I know.
Maybe not
Yeah.
on a night like last night where Melo was actually making baskets, but
But like when
like
Melo's
those guys,
struggling with his shot, I think Nasir Little is the better option because he does other things.
yeah. If those guys like Little got in foul trouble early in the first couple minutes last night and didn't end up getting back in the game, but like those guys can earn minutes. They're getting time on the court. If they do well, they should be earning minutes, and it's not necessarily tanking. But once we have Dame back, I mean, he's been playing with these guys all year. He's been carrying the team. Like, yeah, and that the other part of that is like I heard people worrying about like, well, you don't want to risk injury, but like no one's rushing these guys back soon. You've said this all season that it's like way past the time where Nurk should have been back by now. So they're being overcautious with him. So like it's not like bringing him back now is risking him re-breaking his leg or something, you know.
Yeah.
And with Collins, Olshea's on record as saying that he's going to be 110% before unless or he won't play. So I have no doubt that they're not going to put him in if he's not 100% healthy. And then, did something just happen to Exum's leg? Did he pull a Nurkic?
Oh no.
And then with Dame, so let's say groins are tricky, right? Like you can feel fine and then you can go back in and re-aggravate it pretty easily, right? With like a groin or like a muscle injury, right?
It wasn't okay. Exum's injury wasn't that bad. I don't know why he reacted like that. He literally walked off under his own power, or it was able to put a little weight on the leg he hurt. So why is he saying, "Oh my God, Exum his leg, bro"? Oh, twisted it extremely bad. You made me think he snapped it, bro. That reaction makes me think, oh, Exum just snapped his leg.
Did you see Jeremy Lamb?
I saw a couple tweets about him, but I didn't really read them.
Yeah, the trifecta: ligament damage, meniscus damage, and fractured kneecap.
Oh, so he's out for the year?
All three. Yeah, he's out. He's going to be out for a long time.
Damn, that sucks.
But anyways, so you weren't paying attention, but like with muscle injuries or like groin injuries, like you could feel fine and re-aggravate them, right? If you go back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like worst case scenario, let's say Dame does pop his groin, and it's like the whatever grade that is, grade 3 strain or whatever, which puts you out like a month and a half to 2 months. Like at that point, our season would be over anyway, and we're not going to make the playoffs. So Dame could just rest that time when he's playing the playoffs. Like I'm not saying I want Dame to get hurt further, but it's not like that would be an ACL injury or an injury like Nurk's where you're worried about him out for next year too. Like it would still be a short-term injury even if he re-injures it. So I don't think there's like some huge risk other than playing him like 40 minutes a game right now to try to make the playoffs. I mean, you don't want to just bring him back from that and risk him hurting something else because you're overusing him. So that goes back to playing the young guys more minutes and just letting them. And if you're not good enough to win with him playing like 35 minutes instead of 40 minutes, then you probably shouldn't make the playoffs anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That the fans with the whole let's not bring these guys back for months or until next year or that type of stuff. Like, I don't know. I when I see that type of stuff, it's kind of just like, man, they're not. They're gonna bring them back if they're healthy. they're gonna bring him back if they're healthy. Like that's not really something that's like practical. That's not a practical suggestion. That's not a realistic suggestion. So like, but that's a great point with Dame. If he hurts his groin again, he's out for the year anyway. There's your tank. There's your tank without actually trying to tank. Like, and you don't lose Dame's respect, and you don't lose, you don't mess up the culture with that.
And he has to rest, so it might be good for him to just take a couple months off and not do anything, and then he comes back refreshed.
Next year, we get a better pick. Maybe we get into the top 4. Like that wouldn't be a horrible scenario. Obviously you don't want something else to happen where he injures something and affects his play or holds him out for any bit of time next year. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't be as bad as as it normally would be for Dame to be out for a month or be out for a month and a half.
And I don't want Nurk to play if he's not healthy, but I feel like he has to play this year. Like, I think that would be the worst possible scenario for him to have maybe his calf strain flare up again, and they just sit him out the rest of the year, and he doesn't even get a chance to experience any live action until October of next year. I don't think that's the best case scenario for him. I think he needs to get back in there and get over the mental hurdles this year so he can come back and be ready to go at the beginning of next season. He could be ready to go even if he doesn't play this year, but it's much more likely that he, after playing a few games this year, would be and then able to practice all summer, be ready to go at the beginning of next year.
I mean, the dude's been out of basketball since March 26th. Holding him out of NBA basketball for a year and 7 months is not the answer, in my opinion. I've said that before. It's not really. I don't know. Nurk would be very upset with that too. If he finally got to the point where he could come back and he's been out for an entire year and there's a month of the season left and he can finally get back on the court and management tells him, "Oh, you're ready? Okay, well, we want to lose games, so you're not going to play for the rest of this year." That would piss off Nurkic to the point that I don't know if he'd want to be here anymore. Just knowing Nurkic,
And then on top of that, you might be asking him to share time with Whiteside and...
Yeah, you know what I mean? Are we trying to piss off our players? Are we trying to kill our culture? It's just... For what? So that we have, a 4 or 5% better chance at the first overall pick and a 7% better overall chance at getting in the top 4, so that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For that's what we're going to piss off our star players for and kill our culture for. If we don't get into the top 4, then we get the 10th pick instead of the 12th pick or whatever. Weak draft too. You know what I mean? The reward is not even close to worth it for what would happen if we held Nurkic out for the rest of the year if he was ready to go. If we held Dame out for the rest of the year when he's ready to go, because he will be, the risk is far, far, far greater than the reward, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the kind of draft too. I think there's a lot of quality rotational type players. There's not as many stars as in a normal draft or high end potential, but there are a lot of guys from after the first few picks that it's that range of 6 to 40 where any of those guys could be good. And it's I don't think it really matters too much where you pick, other than if you really want a guy like Obi Toppin or something, you probably won't get him at 12. So that's the only down part. But let's say the Blazers do tank and finish 12th and then don't move up in the lottery. So it didn't really accomplish much anyway. So, and you didn't try to make the playoffs. So you kind of made your star player mad. And
a ton of downside there. Yeah. There's no Zion in the draft. There's no Ja Morant in the draft. There's nobody of that caliber prospect-wise in this draft. I kind of wish it was next year's draft this year, because next year's draft is loaded at the top, in my opinion. The scouts say the same thing, but just watching some of the film on these kids and these seniors in high school right now, man, the draft next year is absolutely loaded. All right, so I kind of wish we were picking high in that draft, because the goal is not going to be to pick high in that draft. We're going to try and, take the next step next year and be legit again.
I want to get to Dave's question because he's always nice in the chat. He asked if Moses Brown has any chance to be Nurk's backup next year. I'd say no, probably no chance at that. Moses Brown's probably going to be a two-way player at best the next couple of years. And then I don't know if that'll be with us or not, but he's still a few years away from doing anything. I mean, he's got a lot of athleticism for a big, but yeah, probably not ready for rotational minutes next year on
he needs
any
to
team.
add strength. He needs to be somebody that can push guys around. With the way his play style is, he needs to be a guy who can move guys and kind of bully guys. The problem is he's the one who gets bullied. Like, he's far too skinny. I feel like if he was strong and could kind of carve out space and that type of thing, then he could be maybe a fringe rotational player as a backup center. But he has to completely transform his body. I assume that's what he's trying to do. He needs to become a lot stronger, and then we can revisit things, because he seems like he has decent defensive instincts. He has decent length. He seems like he could be a guy who could, I don't know. Honestly, he reminds me of like a more raw version and more skinny version of Hassan Whiteside a little bit. Like, he doesn't block shots the same way, but just more in terms of like the way he moves and the way he kind of finishes and that type of thing. Of course, Hassan played a year for the Kings. Went overseas for a couple years, then came back into the NBA, kind of tore it up. I think Moses Brown is going to need to just add a bunch of strength, and then maybe he can be a guy who can finish okay on the pick and roll, finish in the paint, and protect the rim, and kind of just be one of those types of centers. That's really the only way I see him carving out a niche in the league.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we should definitely trade Moses Brown for LeBron if that option's available. I agree.
Definitely. Oh, man, sorry I keep yawning. Oh, man.
Nico says Nets will pursue a third star player, and they're willing to trade Dinwiddie, LeVert, and Allen. Thoughts? Can we trade CJ for any of these guys?
I don't think they're looking for that type of star, because Dinwiddie is pretty much CJ. Like,
Kyrie and CJ would be a bad combination.
Yeah, I think
that'd be worse than Dame and CJ.
I think they're looking for a legit all-star, like a Bradley Beal or better. Because when you look at what Dinwiddie's doing this year, CJ isn't really that much better than him. CJ is not that much better than him. Like, CJ, the only way a team is viewing CJ as a star-level player if they're trading for him is if it's for CJ to be the number one player on their team. In Brooklyn, he's going to be the number 3 player on that team next year, behind Durant, behind Kyrie. So it doesn't really make sense. Also, like, getting Dinwiddie, I don't know, he doesn't shoot well. Like, he's like a 33% three-point shooter, and he's not a good defender in my opinion. And then you take on Karis LeVert's contract, and Karis LeVert I think is a bit overrated. Like, he started off hot, then had that injury last year, and then hasn't really been the same since then. I
think LeVert would be decent if he was on this roster with CJ. Like, if we just picked him up somehow at small forward without giving up much, but I don't know. That's probably not the right trade for CJ there from both ends.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, CJ just doesn't make any sense for them. If they're going after a star, it'll be somebody better than CJ. It'll be a Bradley Beal or something. And it would probably be a 3-team trade where a contending team takes on Dinwiddie and trades out a future first-round pick. And that's part of the deal. That's part of the package that helps land Brooklyn the star player they want. But I don't think it's going to be something like CJ.
There's not a lot of teams that need point guards next year, too.
Yeah.
And there's point guards in the draft.
It would possibly be a team wanting a sixth man, which, honestly, like, if we're trying to contend next year and we could get Dinwiddie for, like, I don't know, a Riza and a 2021 first round pick, you almost have to consider it, like, if you're Portland. Because the thing is, Olshey and Stott seem to want that, like, big playmaker off the bench. Dinwiddie's like 6'5", and he'd be a good fit, and we need to upgrade that third guard, or Simons needs to take a jump in production if we want to contend next year. Like, and I believe Simons can take that jump in production. It's just a little bit of a risk, wherein we might be better off just trading for a legit third guard. And Dinwiddie is on a relatively new contract, so I think he still has a couple years. Could be that third guard off the bench. Could also play with Damon CJ, I think, because he has some decent size. I mean, like, that wouldn't be a good guy to go after, but trading CJ for him wouldn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that trade at all.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I'm probably going to wrap up this stream because I don't feel good, like I said at the start of this thing. And it's starting to get worse right now. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow with the post-game show after that Celtics game. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter and that type of thing. So thank you guys for tuning in for this podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.